Half the time the problem is we couldn't achieve the target because we didn't get a clearance from here and we didn't get a clearance from there. I think that is the crux of it. The plan says very clearly that part of our problem is that major projects, you need a holistic view. But what happens is all clearances are given by the respective silos, which do not take a holistic view. And as a result, essentially, a project may be very important. A project may be contributing massively to, let us say, the shortfall, reducing the shortfall in power, which in turn would lead to more development in rural areas, more extension of electricity, more GDP and whatever. But when it wants a particular clearance, these are not issues that are actually before the officer at all. I mean, that officer follows his own silo mentality. We are working with 19th century file-based procedures, which require every individual to pronounce sequentially on a file. And all of this becomes open to questioning, that in view of the fact that somebody called US something said this, how come DS something said something else, and how come JS something else said something else, and then why did the minister do something? This is all
only FA.
Huh?
Only FA.
Not use FA words.
No, no, seriously, it is absolutely impossible to fix responsibility in the system. I don't know if you like making long quotations, but it's a lovely one from a biography of Curzon.
Who's Curzon?
Lord. Ah, we become independent.
Yes. Now we call it Kasturba
Gandhi. George Nathaniel Curzon. In his biography, it says that he was a workaholic and would read files in detail, as opposed to what people think normally. You just look at the last fellow. So there's one wonderful notation in one of Curzon's things. He said, I've perused this file from page 34 onwards. Okay? On the whole, I'm inclined to agree with the gentleman whose signature resembles a trombone. But reflecting the fact that in those days they have typewriters, chaps were writing. You know, if you take an overall view, it is simply not true that every view should be kind of endorsed and that the lower view should never be taken up, etc. Now, how do you do that? I think you do that by abandoning the file system and taking collective decisions and minuting them as speaking orders. And I think a group of ministers should be willing to do that. Frankly, if they were to do that, then the bureaucracy would feel a lot more protected, because the file system is extremely damaging. You write something, you don't know what the next fellow is going to write or what consideration he's going to bring to say that you are wrong. Whereas actually one should have a free-floating discussion and record minutes which say that, look, all these points were taken into account, and in view of this and that, taking into account that and keeping in mind the other, the collective view is this is the right thing to do, and then everybody takes collective responsibility. I think if we would do that, a lot of what is called administrative paralysis would end.